You're just in time. Saved you a seat for the Pillars of Man, your number one podcast for the best conversations you could find aimed at male self improvement. And my episode tonight is all about the power of the mind, your brain, and how big it really is. I don't, well, obviously, I couldn't know how smart you deem yourself currently in life. Maybe you think you're a bit of a brainiac, or if you're anything like me, your noggin is not necessarily your most strongest tool in your arsenal of just who you are as a man, a human being, and of course a king. But it's so important. It is so important that right here must come first, right up here, the command center of all of it. I mean, right? Anything you do, anything you perceive, everything that is happening right now. Well, I mean, you might be just vibing with me. You're just kind of just watching this, looking at me, listening, maybe even both. Okay, both is ideal. And, but that's all being received through the passages of your mind. It's all of it: reality, existence, everything that's happened to you, everything that's happening right now, everything that will and may happen in the future, all being calculated right up here, which can make it a little difficult to self improve. You want to have such clear, focused goals of where you're trying to go and what you're trying to do. And what will get in the way of that is, yes, you can attribute this, and you might feel as though it belongs to laziness and procrastination is happening. And there's a lot of negativity, very difficult to believe, faithless in this way, lots of doubt, lots of pessimism. Okay. And then, I mean, when you're talking about the past, and then there's a lot of regret there and a lot of bitterness, like, oh, this happened. I did this. That person said that. Okay. Totally this person's fault. They messed up that situation. I didn't do anything. This is, out of my hands, when I would argue, on the contrary, it is all in your hands. You absolutely have all the power necessary to do something about it right now. If you can line it up in here, how I want you to do that is you have to realize struggle and challenge and burden in this way in very controlled amounts. That age old expression, you never want to bite off more than you can chew. But that is so true for building a stronger version of yourself so that you can begin taking on all the challenges necessary that you really do have to. These are not, I want to say, these are all mandatory challenges because in here, whatever you would like to call it, this visualization, cognitive conception, just using the good old power of imagination. But somewhere in here is born your grandest vision for what you want your future to be. I always say this every single time because the greater the detail in your head, the more that you are allowing yourself to work with in reality. And you can keep it simple or you can make it very complex because it comes down to what you want in life. In order to do this properly, I do believe that in this current moment, you are going to have to suspend belief momentarily. Now, what I mean by that is don't worry about if it can or cannot happen. This is not to this is not um, uh, to allow a man to get downright comical with it. Oh yeah, let me take over the universe. You know what I mean? Let me just start building time travel stations and spaceships, and let me, I might as well transform myself into Superman or Batman or the Incredible Hulk, or some kind of, or Thor, or like Iron Man. Both Marvel and the MCU and the DCU, combine them into me. Some kind of crazy, 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 dream along those lines. No, it cannot be like that. But when you get realistic with it, and that's such a that you see, I just want to, just wanted to flesh out this point right here. When you're talking about sticking to realism, when building your best life, and when chasing success towards hopes and dreams, which is, again, another neat little way of describing just what you want out of life. When you are doing this, at that point, well, what is realistic and what isn't? Okay, yes, maybe becoming some sort of comic book superhero is not very realistic. But then, if getting married and having a wonderful marriage to enjoy for the rest of your life, and then having as many children as possible to raise them and have all those, you just amazing, beautiful experiences of you and your own family that you love very much. You literally made these people, with the wifey, and it's all of you, and you all exist in this, nice, comfortable, uh ah throw in lavish. We're gonna throw in luxurious too. So we're gonna throw in lavish and a luxurious, humble abode where you all reside in, and you would pay for all of that. Oh my god! Yeah, no, for sure. It's crazy expensive. I mean, but this is your best life that we're talking about. So yeah, you're gonna need a whole lot of money for all of that. So, I mean, not necessarily easy to do, but in this way, extremely simple. We got love, we got tons of babies, and we got a home. How? How do I make this happen? How do I pay for all of this? Okay. See, you really start to visualize right here. You really start to remember, I said let go. Let you, okay, at least just for tonight, just for as long as you vibe with me on this episode, right in here, you allow it to unfold in the way that you want it to. And you see her wonderful, what is it? Honey, I'm home, something like that. And the queen arrives to greet you, and then followed by that stampede, okay, that you hear coming from the distance, barreling towards you, of your kids as they tackle you, as they are elated to see their father come home from whatever job that you just finished doing that you enjoy. Oh my God, that I have to say this very emphatically, because there are, all right, come on, bro, way too many of us. Good money, not so good money. Does it even matter when you hate it? When you don't have any desire to do this job? There is zero. You right? I don't even want to be here, let alone do the job. I mean, I was just talking with a friend the other day, and he was telling me, he was like, bro, I make six figures. And I was like, bro, that is a lot of money. What in the world? That's fantastic. I think a lot of people in, like the modern world, like, was it first world countries and whatnot? All right, top of the line societies. This is not a measuring contest of any sort. I'm just saying, okay, for the most well off societies on planet Earth right now, I believe six figures. Most people would look at that and be like, what? You made it. You're financially free. Six figures. And he was, I mean, hey, I mean, this is my boy's tax bracket right here. We're just shooting the crap, kicking it, and we get into this conversation. But he tells me he doesn't necessarily enjoy what he does at work to make this kind of money. he was just like, he was really he I don't want to make it sound like he was complaining, because he wasn't, but he was venting for sure his own life frustrations, and the biggest ones being he's trapped in an office 40 hours a week at least. Yes, and he said, uh, what, if I can remember correctly, using his words, he is imprisoned. Okay, that sounds okay, kind of rough, being held against your will to make this kind of money. And I was like, well, you want to take a second? Could you break it down for me, brother? Why is it that you feel like you're in a cell? And it's just he feels so drained. It's very sedentary, you know, lots of keyboard tapping, number crunching, okay, prolonged periods of data analysis or whatever. I don't know the details of what he does. As you can see, I'm trying really hard to improv what I think he looks like in his cubicle, and he's going about this in life. I do. Well, he's living life like this, and yeah, I mean, hey, six figures. Okay, I don't know specifically, but right above 100K, and then okay, so he's killing it. He's doing well. This is good money, and then he goes, you know what? I wish, and he was like, I wish that I wouldn't have to be in the office for that long. He was like, I would take a pay cut. I was like, whoa, please don't say that. And he was like, no, I really, he was like, I'm being honest. He was like, every bone in my body, and I think he was kind of speaking in a literal sense, wants to take this pay cut because then he was like, I could go to the gym. I could just go for more walks outside. And he was like, I could see my kids a little bit more. And he was like, and I could fish a little bit more. And hey, look, that's enough. That's enough of my buddy's life before I just like really expose him. Work-life balance and what a man must do, what he must prioritize in order to protect and provide for both himself and his family. These are the responsibilities of any man who would choose to walk boldly in the path of his best life for there to be a loving, loyal, lasting wife. And you're right, you want to give them a good start. What's a good start? I think 0 to 18 is a great start. So you want to at least give the kids the right? I got you till you're 18, at least, at the very least. That's the come on, I mean, right? Is that not the bare minimum? I feel like most of us be like, "Are you 19? Yes, yes, let's go. Okay, yeah, good luck. All right, get out of here." Uh, I mean, it's not even like that. Okay, right? Your kids will always be your kids. It's just you all obviously want to help them cultivate and foster a sense of independence. I mean, that must be said. So, all right, 19 or 18, whatever is, we're gonna keep it on schedule in a timely manner. Look at the wife, be like, okay, now it's our turn, all right, to relax, right? It's very. I don't have kids yet. I can't imagine. It must be a really interesting couple of decades, but and this is a man who made it to the side of being blessed enough. I mean, to so many of us, that can sound ungrateful. That can sound it's a not a very tasteful opinion to have. You right. My buddy is in this. Oh, it's a very privileged position to be able to complain that a job where he's making that much money at is frustrating him in the way that I told you. But when you are trying to self improve to the point where you're living a life that's really in the way that you want to, this is how you want to live your life, then it's not unrealistic to try and envision for yourself, well, Obviously, I want the money to be there, but then I also want to be able to enjoy life as well. And when you combine this with the concept, most of life for all of us is men. I mean, okay, no, no, I'm not excluding women in this way, but specifically for males, even more specifically for male self-improvers, men who are striving to get better. You want to look at yourself as a very limitless individual in this way. Okay, why would you ever want to cap yourself, give yourself even kind of pretend that there is a ceiling of some sort? There is none if you are willing to continue to climb. That's what it really comes down to, which is why the power of the mind is everything in this way. Climb. There is no intention to, there is no notion to even conceive of for ascension, for, improving, upgrading, getting better so that you can do better and ultimately have better in life. You have to embrace, as I'm now getting back to, the challenge in this way. Okay? In concentrated doses, I recommend. Okay? Because as soon as you figure out, now remember, I told you, when you're figuring it out and you're trying to keep it realistic within the parameters of what you deem realistic, you're gonna have to try to push it. You are gonna, have to try to bring what you feel, what you believe is your best life. You're gonna really have to bring that to its ultimate form. Okay, this is the best possible relationship. This is the best state of health you could ever be in. This is the best shape of your life. Okay, this is you really trying to do what has always been so difficult for you. So the fact that it is really hard, whatever it is, it doesn't matter in this way. It really doesn't matter. It could be going back to school. I mean, nowadays, you don't even really have to. Okay. I mean, right? Because technically, lecture hall is right in front of you. Lecture hall is the same distance away from the entertainment lounge of these very attractive female performers. It's the same thing because I mean, what's separating you and them and these destinations, virtually speaking, is just your keyboard and okay, little tap tap tap, enter, bam, there it is, 4K instantly. Do you have 5G? I bet you do. So there's no really any barrier of any kind. But this is not to knock, this is not to bash formal education, higher education. Oh, it's wonderful. If I think it's wonderful if you're going for like what you're going for, not to just kind of go and find yourself. Nothing like that. You can do that for much cheaper on the internet. Okay, with the powers of what do we got here? We got Google, we got YouTube, we got ChatGPT. You have, I mean, come on, brother. You have the internet. I mean, you literally just like you. It's not a question anymore. You just go to Google, right? Doesn't as soon as you load up Google, isn't doesn't that um, cursor, the line for typing, doesn't it just already start blinking? You can just start typing. Okay. If not, okay, fine. You click on the blank space, and then you can just literally, I want to enter. Welcome to your own customized, personalized lecture hall for what you're trying to do in life. That doesn't mean, oh, okay, wow, boom, now I'm well on my way to having everything I want. But that is the way to get everything that you want. Yeah, I can't give you that guarantee, but the path is. But the path is promised in this way. This is the world you and I live in today. So When you are, if now if you're with me on that, brother, then what is really separating you and me from actually achieving that sweet, those blast and spectacular outcomes and treasures waiting for you that make up what you originally came up with in here that depicts your best outcomes. You are your own worst enemy in this way. Potentially not letting yourself. Now, not letting yourself is not, this is not some kind of crazy horror movie. Okay. With the, have you seen that movie? It's old, but it's a goodie. Isn't it's a pretty, kind of a messed up movie. His hand, a serial killer, I think, gets into his hand. So it's just his hand. So he's like this all movie long, and it's like, and he has an evil hand. And his evil hand is doing all sorts of evil things, but the rest of him is him. And it's not like that, you know. That's like the reality of your life. It's really more. I don't feel like it. I'm too tired today. It's not fun. This makes me feel miserable. This bores the crap out of me. This feels painstakingly tedious. I don't have a I have a very low, I have a very smart, microscopic attention span. I was speaking for myself. Let me just be clear. I'm speaking for myself. I've always been a really lazy person. I went through too much. I have ADHD. I'm autistic. I'm not laughing at autistic people. I'm laughing because there are way too many people on the internet coming out as I have, autism. And it's like, no, brother, you don't have autism. You just, okay. This is just you. There's nothing wrong with you. You're actually fine. Okay. You having a little bit of trouble over there. Clearly, it's all good. We all have a little bit of trouble in our lives trying to live our best lives. But I'm sorry. I just have to get that off my chest. Um, sometimes you spend so much time on the internet. I thought I was autistic. Like now, like straight up me. I was like, wait, am I? Hold on a second. Because I saw this TikTok clip, because I saw this YouTube short, and I saw this whatever video. Oh, wow. Coincidentally, I did this the one snippet of the video, whatever. Oh my God, I did that. I must be too. It's like, no, oh my goodness. No, it's not like that. But I'll stop it there. And those are all very valid because they're the struggles of life. There, what I like, that little compilation I just quick fired. That's why it's hard. But this is what you need. You need it to be hard. I promise you do. Because hard is what grows you. That's what allows you to explore this. Because after a certain point, when you're done with the conceptualization, okay, and the visualization and the imagining of your best possible life, the first action will appear. See, this is why, if you remember earlier, I want you to make it as detailed as possible, because when you do that, the steps are really that much more clear. I want to be a Michelin star chef. I don't know much about culinary, so please correct me if I'm wrong. Is it 5 stars or is it 1 star? Is it just like the Michelin star? Uh, okay, let's just make this easier for me. Oh my God. Some of the examples I come up with are just like, God damn. You know what I'm saying? It's like a little these are beyond my reach. So you want to be a 5 star restaurant owner. That's a great dream. And y- I mean, that's so you can think of that at any point in time in life. Wow, it just dawned on me. I want to be a five-star restaurant owner. And you can immediately counter that with, it's never happening. No, who do I think I am? Me? A five-star restaurant? Like, like, how about I just go eat at five-star restaurants? How about I just do that? I mean, close enough. You can rain on that parade. Uh, okay, like pouring, torrential. If you want to, you can bombard it with negativity. See, you see, all the doubt, all the disbelief, all the cynicism and the pessimism, you can absolutely do that. Or you can take that as seriously as that is humanly feasible for you now, right now, today, and the rest of this week. So at that point, what does that really mean? See, right? That you didn't even do anything. Not yet. It just got super clear in here. This is because it's really it's all this until the actions arrive, and the actions are born out of that vision you came up with of how clear your perfect life is. In my example, in this hypothetical scenario, as a five-star restaurant owner, then it's like, wow, what kind of food? Okay, what's the name of the place? Am I gonna, be the cook, or am I hiring, or it just, and then you most likely get to a point where it's like, it's like um, a barrier, it's like a dead end, right in here. Oh, I actually have absolutely no freaking clue. Okay, licensing, how many? What kind of licenses? Yeah, and that by the power of the internet, you're covered. Because if you're looking at me right now, okay. First of all, A, you're already paying for it. B, you have it. You have the ultimate resource humankind has ever created since we've been around. Okay, in terms of uh, depth of data and information, it just answers facts. You need problems need to be solved, and questions need to be answered. That's the kind of world you and I live in. In this way, it's never been the way I see this has never been a better time for man to transmute, okay, at this point, transition what he conceives in here to his tangible reality. And then you seek the information, you have the information. Now at this point, it is time for the iteration. Now you try. But you have it though. You have it all in front of you, step by step, one day at a time. That's really all it is. Will you let yourself? I ask this of you tonight, brother. Will you let you? Because if not, then once again, your enemy. You're. It's so crazy. The duality of it, bro. Your greatest asset, tool, weapon is this, but then it's also at the same time your ultimate foe, your greatest adversary in this way. Because if it doesn't happen, then I mean, well, when it really comes down to it, this is very painful for me, agonizing. Because there's really nothing like the realization when it hits you. I really do want this. I mean, you can use my example. Maybe maybe you know right now what you really want. Great, hold on to that, and you hold on to it, okay, for a little bit too long without doing anything with it. It really starts to hurt after a while. Like, oh God, because this is what I really want. I know it is. And then there comes a certain point where, because you can play the what if game forever. You can play the maybe game eternally. So after a certain point, what's it going to be? You do or you do not. Isn't that what Yoda said? There is no try. But that's Star Wars. Here, in our reality, trying is everything. Trying is doing. That's kind of how it happens. And when you know you want to, but then you still don't, that's a whole lot of pain. So then now, again, the problem is not a course correction of any kind for routine or the scheduling or consistency or the discipline or really, right, or any of that. No, it's actually just simply right in here. What's going on right there? Whatever it may be, too much time has passed. I regret too severely, emotionally, too hard, the regret. All these mistakes that I've all these mistakes that I really have made. How am I supposed to come back from all of that? The moment you begin to try. That's really what it is. The first moment, the first of many. And the more you make, the further you go in the opposite direction of how awful life has been to you. Okay? Possibly. Now, for however long, recently, these past few years or so. Yeah, okay. That's where a lot of magic really starts to happen. Because you figured out what you want, and now you understand how you are going for it, and then you are going step by step. That's all you getting out of your own way and allowing yourself to inhere. Now, that's not to say it will not be one of the most excruciating processes for you to go through in life, because uh, at least initially, in my humble opinion, for any man, breaking into it is so difficult because you've never even operated in this mode of doing what's hard. So there is a version of you that can work for 4 hours straight. Okay, I'm talking, just full blown, all in, super locked in, very high intensity, dialed all the way in. This is ultra concentration and just the utmost focus and effort. Okay, multiple hours deep. Okay, but when you're first starting, that really might just be about 15 minutes and you really can't take it anymore. I mean, what could that 15 minutes develop into if you don't stop? Answer the first question. Answer the very first question. See, this is the world that you and I live in. It's mind blowing when you think about it like this. I mean, no pun intended. Tonight's episode was all about the mind. But what is it like? How stressful is it? See, frame it however you want to. What is it like a day in the life of a 5-star restaurant owner? Like what kind of personality should this person have? What kind of, just one question. Enter, and you read the answer. It'll pop right up there, right there on Google. This is how we are in the future. It's so crazy. And then you just keep going from there. I don't even want you to worry about the results. Right? Making it, not making it, having what you want, not never having what you want. It's really just watching yourself live it. You are witnessing yourself do it. Your best life. You could not tell me this isn't your best life because you're going after what you conceived as the best scenario. In my example, that's the 5-star restaurant. It can be anything else that you want, that you deem that is something that resonates with you. You care about this. It brings meaning to your life. It helps you wake up. It drives you in this way. Because no matter what happened, the world could be crumbling all around you. The freaking sky is falling. Okay, and all right, maybe it falls on you, maybe it doesn't. It's all good because as long as for as long as oh wait, I'm good. Another day to live. You know exactly why you would live it. You have that, bro. And if you don't now, you absolutely could very soon. I know when a man is he he finally starts operating in this mode. Call it self improvement. Call it chasing success. Call it building dreams. You call it whatever you want. But it's leading him to his own ultimate version. And when a man lives like this, then, well, I mean, just like that, all of a sudden, oh, life is just a lot sweeter to look forward to. I woke up today because I know who I am, and I'm a man that wants to live like this. Why would I do this to myself? Why would I live like this? Because it's the only I have. You see, I have to live like this. I have to. You wouldn't be able to do it any other way if you're serious about having what you say you want, brother. That's what it comes down to. This is how strong, this is how formidable and powerful you really are up here. Okay? So, so, so powerful. You can create some of the best possible scenarios to live, or you can destroy them. Or you can lead yourself into an endless, a boundless pit of self-destruction. A lot of it happens, I believe, from men who are refusing to use that gift of what their mind can lead them towards. Because if it doesn't, it's you yourself cutting it off and saying, but I don't believe. No, what I think, what I'm focused on is my inability. It's, how I can't, how I won't, how I will not. It's too much. It is too hard. It is too difficult. Where is that all really coming from? I understand. Let me go be an astronaut. You know what I mean? Let me go be a world-renowned martial arts master. Oh, okay. Oh, let me make it to the NBA. No. I totally like. I mean, hey. Right? To counter me, it's like, well, I can see that. Let me just work on that for the rest of my life, and it's going to be a great one, right? That's what you really want to do. I would say yes, if that is truly what you're after, what you're really trying to pursue, because then after that, whether you make it or not, because are you good enough? Will you be able to? This is honestly just brought to my attention. I think it would definitely be um, ideal for me to mention, knowing when to quit, knowing when to pull out. This isn't what I thought it would be. Knowing when to pivot. But that's after you've taken enough time with something that you would be able to form that conclusion. So if you haven't, then you're just working with a lot of assumptions and guessing and speculation. None of that is actually grounded in reality of doing it. I just want to be able to push you towards that, because doing it is everything. And you'll never be able to until you get this right. Until you get it right in here. Okay? That I believe that the ultimate key is just little by little. Yes, step by step. Just a little bit of time, one day at a time. Okay, your first day off. Take an evening back after work. You relax. You kind of just let go of all the worry, of all the what ifs, of all the because that what if game is so dangerous. It will lead you down the path of all of these fake scenarios of negativity that may never actually happen. And even if they do, it doesn't really matter, because then what you could be given is just your absolute best life if you could silence all of that and still go nonetheless. That's it, brother. That is my deep dive tonight on a man mastering his own mind. You have to try. You have to try. Right in here. You let it you let it form, and you run with it. You see how far it takes you in life. And you're looking for a space on the internet where men are doing the exact same. And also to hear other conversations, discussions, wisdom, guidance, and, all that good stuff. That's what I do here. I talk a little bit about everything and anything that goes into all of this, because you're watching the Pillars of Man, your number one podcast for the best conversations you could find, aimed at male self-improvement surrounding philosophy, masculinity, wellness, and lifestyle. I'm your host, Kumo. I continue to reshape the modern male reality, giving any man who wishes to pull the very best out of himself a way to do that. Thank you so much for being here, bro. You like content like this, hit that subscribe button for me. Hope you give me a like as well. And I want to see you real soon for the next one. But until then, take it easy. Take good care of yourself. And I love you so much. Peace.